Hello, welcome back to Houseplant Menageries. Today I'm going to give you a tour of all of the plants belonging to my favorite genus, which are philodendrons. Starting off, we have these philodendron painted ladies. There are 4 of them. These are quite nice, and they are light dependent for their variegation. And I think these are one of the most interesting variegated plants I have. Unfortunately, I have had some trouble growing them, but hopefully in the future I can get them to grow better. Next up, we have philodendron Birkin, which is what we have here. There is an interesting brown leaf here. I don't know if you can see that, but this is, I believe, a mutation of a green Congo, which is pretty interesting. Luckily, mine has not begun to revert on me, so I'm hopeful that I can keep this for quite a long time. Next up is this philodendron Moonlight, looking a little sorry for itself, but growing back, and hopefully this will one day turn into a beast like one of the ones you'll see later. Next up is a little big for my filming backdrop, but this is the philodendron Imperial Red. You can see this one has nice bronze colored new leaves, which is pretty unique among my collection of philodendrons. Next up is the good old trusty philodendron Brazil. This is in a hanging pot, and I had some struggles with this in the past, but recently it's been starting to grow much nicer leaves, although they are smaller. So if anybody has tips, that would be nice, because I'm a little bit of a struggle with Brazils. Next up is much too large for the backdrop. This is the philodendron Ruby, which is a dark philodendron with red petioles and lighter colored new leaves that come out with reddish backs as well. I don't know. Can't really see that up there. That's okay. This is a pretty large one. This is not the most mature I have, though. The most mature one I have is this one. Much larger leaves, you can see compared to my hand. And this one you can see better that new leaf color, which is also a sort of bronzy color. Yeah, this gets quite mature, and it is a climbing philodendron, so this one will be soon getting a pole. Here we have the philodendron Micans. Doesn't show up great on camera, but this is a very sparkly, dark-leafed, velvety philodendron, which climbs and trails. So this is a pretty nice piece that I think a lot of people should and do have in their collections. Next up are these 3, philodendron Silver Sword. Not looking so great, but it's alive, and that's all that really matters, isn't it? So hopefully this will start climbing its pole and give me some nice inflorescences soon. Next up, one of my tallest poles, and definitely too big for the backdrop again, is philodendron Pariso Verde or Palo Verde. I am not sure. Unfortunately, it did revert during winter, but I'm hoping that during the summer it'll get back its nice variegation that you can see on these leaves back here and lower down. So yeah, this one is light and heat dependent to keep its variegation, which I don't have during the winter. Next up is this philodendron No ID. I just made a video about this today. I don't know what this is, so if anybody can tell me, that would be very helpful. Next up is the philodendron White Princess, which is quite pretty. It's growing weirdly. I've been having troubles with the humidity levels, but I'm hoping to get that under control soon. I also have these 3 pups that I separated a while back that have been doing great. So one of these might be for sale soon. Probably the smallest one, because I want to keep them to propagate. Next are these 5 philodendron Gloriouses. I got this plant on sale for half the price because of the spider mite damage and immediately chopped it up. And one of these will be for sale this spring once it's large enough to sell. Next up are these 2 philodendron Fuzzy Petioles, looking a little worse for wear. I had some struggles with these and spider mites, and one of them was actually a gift to my friend who he couldn't take care of and gave back to me. You can see there's a new leaf on this one, and they are starting to recover, so hopefully pretty soon these will be nice and lush like it was when I bought it. Next up is the philodendron Pink Princess, which is a very iconic plant. You can see here these dark new leaves, pink variegation, pretty nice big leaf over there. There's a half moon leaf coming out right now, but Yeah, I've got a bunch of these, and pretty soon I'll have more. There's a few pups on the large one there. Next up is the philodendron Florida Ghost, which has white leaves, basically, all white. And they fade to more of a green, and this gets lighter for how much light it gets. And this one is climbing, and hopefully at some point this one will also get some inflorescences so I can sell seedlings. Next up is this guy, the philodendron Florida Green, which I also have a few more of, and there they are. Got 2 more, and hopefully soon, same with the Florida Ghost, I can get some inflorescences off this and sell seedlings. And yeah, there's not much to say about this other than it's a very high humidity loving plant. I don't know about other people, but I can't grow it outside of a greenhouse or a box. This here is the philodendron golden crocodile, which recently got this new leaf. They are saw blade leaves, and they're yellow. It kind of looks like if this and a jungle boogie were crossed, that would be a ring of fire. It's the same sort of shape, except all yellow. Next up is the philodendron gloriosum. This is a crawler and a velvety philodendron. And this one's pretty small, putting out a new leaf, which looks nice and large, but hopefully soon it'll get nice and big so I can propagate. Next up is the philodendron melanochrysum. This is a sparkly, velvety, dark leaf philodendron, which is a climber and very popular, very annoying to grow, as you can see, but nonetheless, this is one of my favorites. It was a wish list plant for a long time, and it recently put out this new leaf that is small, but you know what? It's not that much smaller, so I'm happy with it. And hopefully eventually I can get it to be that nice, huge melanochrysum that everybody wants. Next up is the philodendron Bilidae, which is a little big to fit in frame, but see the roots in this one are going crazy. It's got a root coming out there, and it's barely even touching the pole. There's like 2 nodes on the pole. See, the new leaf here is starting to come out. This is a pretty big one, and it's doing pretty well. So, hoping this one will get some inflorescences soon as well. Now we're on to our last 2, and also our largest 2. And in second place for the largest is philodendron burleymarks, or burlmarks. This is one of many I have. I have probably close to 20 of these, which are all much smaller than this one, but this has been putting out great new leaves for me after some bad spider mite damage a while ago. I actually forgot one, which is the philodendron cordatum here, which has beautiful new red leaves. This is trailing and climbing at the same time in the same pot, and hopefully pretty soon this will reach the top and get nice big leaves. Okay, I know I forgot one last time, but this time I have the actual last one and the largest one, which is philodendron golden mellionii, the largest in my collection. This is enormous. I bought this at a steal for $20, and it has put out these 2 leaves since then, but nonetheless, this is the largest and most impressive philodendron I have, and now you can stay tuned for tomorrow or next week's video, where I'll be showing you some other plants in my collection. Thank you, bye! Just to clarify, anything that I mentioned I was planning on selling is not going to be sold online as of now. I will make a YouTube short if that changes, but until then, the only place you can find me selling plants is at the Greenfield Farmers Market in Greenfield, New Hampshire. Until then, thank you, and until next time.